All right, today we are talking about Python functions. A function is a behavior. It is some code that completes a task. It should just complete one task. It should be named whatever task it completes. So the names of functions should be verbs. For example, make student email, say bonjour, send tweet. Functions are really important when we get into more complicated programs. It helps us break down these large tasks into smaller individual ones. It makes things easier to test. What I mean there is imagine an app that helps us calculate missile trajectories. I mean, it sounds incredibly complicated, but we can break it down into just three functions. The first, we're going to collect input. The second thing we're going to do is do all of our physics calculations. And then the final thing we're going to do is display our results. And if we have a problem, we can test out each of those functions and focus on the portion that's giving us a problem. And we can reuse our functions in other programs. Here's a really simple function. It just requires one argument. So if I give it the name Alex, it's going to print bonjour Alex. If I give it Steve, then it prints bonjour Steve. When I look up examples of how to create functions in Python, it always has just, we're creating a function called say hello, and then it's just one line of code, print hello. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's not a good case where you would want to create a function. Where you would want to create a function is somewhere where it's going to save you time. So I can say hello to multiple people using this. Even better, an even smarter reason to create a function like this would be if I changed it so that it was called say hello in foreign language, and I could give it a student record and it would check the student record. If they had studied French, say bonjour, whatever their name is. If they had studied German, it would say Guten Tag, whatever their name is. And if they'd studied Spanish, it would say hola, whatever their name is. Creating a function, you need to use the def keyword to define a function. A function has to be defined or created before it can actually be used, called by the program. So it looks like this. There could be multiple things inside the parentheses or nothing inside the parentheses. All of your code goes here underneath this heading. All of your code must be indented. That's how it knows what code goes inside the function. And when you stop indenting, then it knows that you're done with the function. Functions don't run automatically. You have to call a function to actually run it. Calling a function means running that function. You've probably already called the print function when you wrote print hello world. Functions don't run until you call them. You can call a function by typing the name of the function, followed by parentheses. If it requires any information to be sent to it, you do that. So here's how you would call the say bonjour function. And here are two other calls to the say bonjour function. This is very useful if your program needs to perform the same task multiple times or at different points in the code.